Welcome back. So today I want to answer one of the questions that I see a lot in our community, and that question is, how many crochet stitches does it take to make a king size blanket? Well, I got that answer coming up. To answer that question, well, it's kind of a difficult one, and the reason why I tell you that is because it depends. And I'm going to show you right now what I mean by it depends. So for instance here, I have two different swatches that I want to show you. And the reason why I'm showing this so you can understand when you ask that question, how many stitches? Well, there's a lot of different factors that come into play. The first thing I want to mention is both of these stitches swatches that you see here are made of 10 single crochet stitches. And the thing is, I want to show you, one is done with the 5mm hook, the other is done with the 9mm hook. And as you can tell the difference, I'm going to go ahead and show you measure these up. So for 10 stitches on this one, it's 4 inches. So for a 9mm hook with the size 5 bulky yarn, it's going to be 10 stitches for 4 inches. Now for number 4 weight with the 5mm, it's just a little over 3 inches. So that's an inch difference. So when a person asks me how many stitches does it take to make a crochet blanket or any size blanket or garment, whatever, I always tell them, let's think about the size of the item you want to make first, and then from that way we can work on our gauge. So what I want to show you here is actually I have this little cheat sheet here, which is my crochet chart, size chart for blankets and stuff. So for today's question was on a king size blanket. So what I'm going to show you is, let's go to the bed blanket. So, and here's the thing, if you want to copy this, the link's in the description below. But for a king size blanket, you're going to see it's 108 inches by 100 inches. So that's the thing, that's where it's going to be the difference between when something that you make versus what I make, because again, I may be using a different yarn, I might be using a different hook size, and also not to mention, depending on how I crochet, if I'm a tight crocheter or if I'm a loose crocheter, those make the biggest difference. So I would always tell you to go back to what I was telling you earlier, is start off with your swatch. Figure out how many stitches it takes for you to make the width of 108 inches. So from that point, you'll understand, well, 108 inches, it takes me 20 stitches, or, I mean, obviously it's gonna take a lot more than that. But you'll get the idea. So once you understand of how many stitches it takes for you to make 108 inches, well, there's your answer. So from that point, you just go ahead and factor it out. So what I would tell you to do is actually make a swatch like this, make like a 4x4 or 8x8 swatch, whatever, and you can kind of figure the math from there. So just figure out if it's 8 inches here and you need to make 108 inches, just be a little math involved from there. But you'll figure out, well, if it took me 10 stitches to make 8 inches, well, I know if I want to make 100 inches, it's going to take me so many. So just a little math involved. But again, I just want to bring that to your attention. The fact is that kind of question is it's a depend question, because I can't give you an answer, because again, your hook, your yarn, the way that you tension, the way you do those things are completely different than the way that I do them. So, but just the thing to think about and go by is the actual chart size. So for a king size blanket, you want to do 108 inches wide by 100 inches long. So that's what you want to go by. If you want to get a copy of the actual chart, just take a look at the description below. And I make videos like this all the time. So if you enjoy crochet stuff, if you love crocheting, please consider subscribing. It helps me out when you hit the subscribe. It's going to help me as a small business owner. Plus, it's just fun for me to make these type of videos and answer your questions. So I'll see you on the next video. And like I always say, ciao for now.